What is happening in California? So there's some stuff happening in California where in two separate areas, we're getting two news reports the same day that two different girls were wandering around the streets by themselves. Yeah, I said it, two separate girls wandering around the streets by themselves. So let's get over into the first video, and then we got the other one to watch as well. Because what, where are the parents at? Come on now, where are the parents? We need to know. The parents need to know where their children are. That's the main thing I always say. The parents need to know where their children are. So let's jump right into it.
New here at 5, a little girl was spotted walking the streets of West Hollywood. She was all by herself. Someone called 911, and now her father is under arrest.
Our NBC4 Investigates team learned about it exclusively from the LA County Sheriff's Department. NBC4's Karma Dickinson live in West Hollywood to explain what deputies found when they approached her. Karma.
Yes, we're right here along Orange Grove Avenue where that little 5-year-old girl turned up, according to neighbors, looking like she needed help. Now, this is a street that is just north of Santa Monica Boulevard, so a pretty impacted area, but it's a quiet residential street. It was about 11 o'clock Wednesday morning when deputies got that call. Essentially, someone called 911 to report that a 5-year-old girl was walking around asking for food. Authorities say they found concerning marks on that little girl's neck and other parts of her body that didn't look like they came from a hand. Neighbors described them to us as lacerations that looked like they were infected. Now, authorities tracked down a man who identified himself as the little girl's father. They arrested Cody Jeffries, accusing him of felony corporal injury of a child and neglect. Some neighbors say they watched it all unfold.
Essentially, there was a bunch of policemen, and we saw one of the officers carrying out a little girl who just looked terrified and was awful.
Neighbors also described seeing the child's father that was detained shortly thereafter. Now, later that day, again, we're talking about Wednesday, another unaccompanied child would make headlines. This is the Santa Clarita story we've been reporting on, where a 6-year-old girl wearing a T-shirt and a diaper was found in a shopping center near a major intersection. That child, who authorities say is on the autism spectrum, had only her iPad and a chihuahua with her. It turns out the little girl had walked away from her apartment about a half a mile away. That child's mother arrested for child endangerment, but released on her own recognizance. The woman who identified herself as a child's aunt says the little girl's mother thought she was asleep as the child got out of the home. So back here in West Hollywood, as we're working to get more on the story of the 5-year-old girl found wandering, asking for food, we do know that her father at this point has not yet been charged, but neighbors are pretty concerned. They say police have been back out to the neighborhood, and they're really hoping to find a resolution and more answers to what happened here.
So first thing, they said that the 5-year-old little girl, so we're going to get over into the 6-year-old little girl who was caught wandering in another part of California. But the 5-year-old girl had lacerations on her and different weird marks. So yeah, I don't like, we can't just say that he was abusing her, but it sounds like he was abusing her. We don't know until they investigate and the investigation comes out, but I don't understand. I'm going to say this again. I don't understand why people abuse children, especially parents. God, boy. Absolute crazy. Let's get over into that next video with the second little girl who was wandering around by herself in only a shirt and a diaper in California. Let's go.
Mother was arrested after her 6-year-old daughter was found wandering down a very busy street. She was all by herself, wearing only a diaper and a shirt. NBC4's Karma Dickinson live right now in Santa Clarita. And Karma, amazing, because really a teenager stepped in to save the day here.
Oh, it's a good Samaritan right there.
Absolutely. 2 young people at the center of all this. So fortunate that everyone is okay. But that child crossed a major intersection. We're talking about the one just behind me here in Santa Clarita, McBean and Magic Mountain. And that little girl, we're told, is on the autism spectrum. We talked with her family, though, and they say this isn't what it sounds like. They say they take issue with the way the sheriff has characterized what happened, and the mother did not intend to endanger the child. A half-dressed child, a tiny dog, a teenage Good Samaritan, and LA County Sheriff's deputies all found themselves in the middle of a strange scene. It came to an end in a shopping center off Magic Mountain and McBean Parkways in Santa Clarita.
Try to like stop her, but she just kept running. And she was on Magic, right? Yeah, on Magic. Yeah, on Magic.
Julius Rivera says he was out walking his dog when he saw something unusual. It was about 10 o'clock Wednesday night.
She was just wearing a diaper and a shirt and a backpack, and she had her little dog and her iPad.
She had a
little
backpack
girl
on?
all alone.
I told my mom, and then after that, I was like following her to make sure like nothing happened to her, and I was trying to stop her.
He called 911.
She kept running, and then I tried to stop her, but then she was just running.
He stayed with that little girl until law enforcement came. The LA County Sheriff's Department recovered the 6-year-old and her dog. They were easily able to identify her because of a name and address label on her iPad. The Sheriff's Department says when they went down the street to her apartment, they found the child's mother inside.
The other action remains silent, you understand?
They described the woman as impaired, saying she didn't know the child was missing and didn't realize deputies
impaired?
had entered the home. They arrested her on suspicion of child endangerment. We came out to the home.
Hold on. We got to stop that for a second. They said that the mother was impaired and that she didn't even notice the officers were in the home. Yeah, she wouldn't have noticed her daughter walking out walking out and leaving the house. I don't. Yes, you have to take extra care with autism. The kids who have autism, of course, but come on now. You're so impaired that you don't even see officers walking into your house? Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
That little girl lives, and it's about a half a mile away from the shopping center where she turned up last night, where she traveled on foot with her little dog. Now, we talked with a woman who says she's the little girl's aunt. She says the family does not want to go on camera, but they disagreed with the Sheriff's Department's characterization of what happened here. They said it was an accident. She said that the mother thought the child was asleep, and the child, who, yes, has special needs, was able to make her way outside of the home, but it was an accident. The mother was not negligent in this case and certainly didn't do anything intentional from their perspective. They said the little girl's with her father. Everyone is okay. Right now, the family is really just trying to put themselves together from this. They say it was pretty embarrassing and they're trying to move forward. And the LA County Sheriff's Department says that they are still working on their investigation. They plan to hand it over to the district attorney's office today. Reporting live from Santa Clarita, Carmen Dickerson, NBC4 News.
That's wild.
Home to sleep. No family does on, and it's about impaired, saying she didn't know the child was. The department says when they went down the street to her apartment.
Come on now, I don't. Yes, I don't know if she did anything abusive. I don't think she did anything abusive. But negligence, yes, I think it was negligent. Simple as that. I would have assumed it's negligent as soon as they said that the cops was able to walk into the house and that she didn't even notice them in the house or notice them walking into the house. I don't know if they're just saying, I don't know, man. Come on now, that's too much. I don't know what she was drinking on or sipping on, but what she was on, but not even noticing officers walking into your house. And then your daughter was able to have the ability to just leave the house. I don't know how it is to have a child with autism, but I would think that you would need to have some kind of security in place to where they can't just walk out the house. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how it is to have a child with autism. So I don't know if you should have some kind of locks on the door so they can't just wander out the house, or some kind of safety mechanism so they can't just open the door. But it definitely sounds negligent to me. It doesn't sound like there's no charges need to be placed. Nah, that sounds like negligence. How you don't even notice your daughter walking out the house? You get so intoxicated you don't even notice that, and you don't even notice the officers coming to the door? Nah, man, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yes, of course the family's gonna want to say, nah, it's just not like that. She wasn't negligent, but that just sounds negligent to me. I'm happy, but we got to give props. We got to give props to the good Samaritans who actually stopped and helped the children. That one little the younger man with the dog, he stayed with the little girl, followed her, make sure nothing happened. Make sure that's walking around with just a shirt, a diaper, a little chihuahua. The little chihuahua was there, but it wouldn't have helped her. and an iPad, walking across a busy street. Luckily, she was found and recovered safely. Luckily, because it could have been a tragic thing. And then we know there's some sick people out here who do some wild things. So it's good. It's good that something that both of these girls were recovered and are in safe hands now. But both parents have to be charged. Negligence, at least. And the one with the first video with the little girl who had bruises, you got to investigate deeper into that. You definitely, both cases need to be investigated deeply, but nah, you can't just have bruises on a little girl and just let that go by. Nah, nothing like that. But like always, I say, tell me your thoughts. Tell me if you disagree with anything I said. Do you think that both of these parents were negligent? And how do you, am I wrong about the autism, the little girl who had autism? Is that something you just have to be aware of and it can happen? Or is there ways to stop her from just wandering out the house? So tell me if you've ever dealt with that. Wow, I was not expecting that. But both of these happened in California. I don't know what's happening in California, but absolutely crazy. Y'all absolutely crazy. All right, everybody, remember this is